Hello, welcome to McBoss Capital channel. My name is Michael Chu. Today is this video will be covering for the market, US stock market week for the week ending January 9th, 2026. This is the first full trading week of the new year, and market looking pretty good. At least S&P and Dow making new highs. We'll look at the index in just a second here. But with the Friday's news, we had the unemployment report. It dipped 4.4%, so that's good. And then we also see the non-farm payrolls rose by 50,000, which is also less than expected. So the report kind of strengthened Federal Reserves to stay in the wait and see mode for the monetary policy. Here's the S&P 500 index chart. You can see we make new high here on the weekly chart. We kind of clear this resistance level, and then this week, like I said, we had the first full week here, and we were able to climb to new high and close at the high end range. Again, here's the daily chart. This one also looks pretty good. You can see we actually hit new high on Tuesday here, and then but we came back down and test the short-term 10-day green line there. Moving average once more before we bounce to new high on Friday. So again, very good move so far. Volume is quite high as well this whole week, so that shows there's some sort of accumulation happening. Dow also clear resistance here on the weekly chart, and it really just took off this week. You can see there industrials, a lot of aerospace defense stocks, they're doing really well. Make sure you follow my next video, which will be focused more on the growth stock side, and we'll go to some of those stocks as well. Here's the daily chart on Dow. Again, we came out on Tuesday, and then we did pull back slightly but to Thursday morning, but then we bounced from there, and Friday again we closed at a new high there. Here's the Nasdaq weekly chart. It has been consolidating more recently, right? It's definitely not as strong as the other two index, S&P and Dow, recently. But you can see it's still hovering near the high, so we could come out there pretty soon. But so far it's just holding up near this red line here, and just trying to stay at that level. On the daily chart, you can see draw a channel line at the top here, and we kind of came through that on Wednesday, but we rejected there and closed at the bottom range, and then again just Thursday also got tested at the lows here on the short-term moving average, and so we are starting to come out of this pendant formation, so that might be a good sign, and volume is picking up a little bit, so hopefully some of this tech area may start to rise. So we'll watch for that. So besides S&P and Dow making new high, look at Russell. Russell is also doing really well. You can see for Russell, it's been a long time coming. It made new high, a few months ago, and now it's continue to make new high. So that is a good thing. Here's the daily chart. We see this recent pullback here, and we kind of took off from there this week, right? So this is a really good move here, and we follow through pretty much every day. This is acting really strong right now, relative strength at new high. Yeah, so definitely small caps Russell here showing lots of strength. So here's the New York Stock Exchange advanced decline daily line at the bottom here, and it's been pretty flat, but recently you can see we just started breaking out again, making new highs right now. So this is really good news. So meaning the broader market is actually showing a lot of strength right now. So this might be good news for this rally as we, and that's the thing, like, a lot of the Nasdaq, like heavyweight, like, AI related theme and mega cap has been kind of building a base right now, not doing too crazy stuff, but they're just holding on. And meanwhile, you have the other areas, the 493 S&P stocks, 500 stocks besides the mega cap are actually slowly lifting up, so that's why we're seeing this strength right now on the advanced decline line. It's getting broader, and then Nasdaq itself, the advanced decline line is still kind of weak, relatively, but it's also bounced back, but again it's just not making new highs yet, right? So again, this shows the main difference there. This is the Innovator IBD 50 ETF. You can see that the top 50 stocks represented from IBD are starting to move back up again, and it crosses this red line, which is the 10-week moving average. So that is a sign of health right there. So coming back and also making a new recent high as well. Here's on the daily chart. Again, you can see that level right there. We were able to cross it, and then we came back and tested one more time. On Friday, it got back up, and it did close in, around the middle range. So if we make another new high here, that would be really nice. Here's RSP, also the equal weight S&P 500. So here you can clearly see it's making a new high. So again, this is representing more the broader market based on equal weight. And this is Nasdaq 100 QQEW, again equal weight Nasdaq 100. It's not doing that well. You can see it pull back here to the short-term moving average, and the bounce so far has been weak. Here's the 10-year yield. 10-year yield kind of came back down after the morning rush to the 4.2%, above 4.2%, and then it kind of closed near the 4.17% by the end of the day after the jobs report. The US dollar is slowly recovering. You can see right here, it's been coming up slowly. The oil price jumped back Thursday, Friday after I think the Trump administration announced that they're trying to get the US companies into Venezuela to help with the oil. So we're selling the oil to US and maybe other countries later. So that actually surprisingly make the oil price go up, but it did come back down on Friday. So we'll see what happens here. Gold price have a good week here. You can see it kind of bounced back, got back up here, and closed pretty strong for the week. Silver also bounced back here. Looks pretty good. It's almost at new high once again. It's been a little bit volatile lately, but yeah, it's still showing good action. Copper also bounced back on Friday as well. This is uranium. Uranium also making a bounce this week as well. Closing a recent high here, so it did pull back from the top on Friday though. Bitcoin tried to make a move on Monday, but it kind of fall back by Friday, and even Friday they tried to come up, but it just doesn't have the power. So that's a very negative sign. So right now this is the first rejection right here. So we'll see, and then this one is kind of second rejection. I would count that because intraday it kind of came back all the way down to the 10 days. So this is not looking good in the short term. Ethereum having the pretty much same chart. One group that is doing really well this week is the aerospace defense group. Again, we'll cover more of the stocks on the next video, but you can see it's making new closing high right now. Here's a look at next week. We're gonna have consumer price index data for December coming out. This is on Tuesday, so that will be watched closely by the market. We also have US retail sales data, and also producer price report as well, and obviously we have new earnings season starting with the big banks, JP Morgan, Bank of New York Mellon. Then we have Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and Citigroup on Wednesday, Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley on Thursday. And then we also have from the tech area TSM, which has been doing well recently, also posting on Thursday. Here's a look at the WenX Semiconductor, symbol SMH ETF here. This again break out nicely, and it followed through this week with a gap up on the beginning of the weekend, was able to close really strong. Here's a look at the daily chart. Again, we see this nice breakout here this week, and then we kind of pull back by Thursday morning. But look at Friday, it just bounced with 1 day move. It just bounced and pretty much closed at new high. So this is very impressive. So yeah, here's the NVDA chart. It is kind of pulling back this week, which is kind of not a good sign. Consider that this is the giant the AI chip area, and it's not moving much this week. And even with the semiconductor ETF making new high, this one is actually relative strength, as you see here, has been coming down, and it's just not making any move whatsoever. So not a good sign. The other stock that's been doing well is TSM. We've been rising. Here's the 10-day slope here. We did pull back this week as well, but it did find support on Friday, and it didn't touch the 10-day slope here. So that looks really good. AMD, this one also going down. So that's again another chip stock that is not moving following the ETF, the group ETF. So some of these are actually not doing as well. Broadcom again also suffered the drop this week, and Friday's bounce, at least is there, but we still have this trend line from the top that we're trying to come across above, and this red line also be another resistance level with the 50-day moving average there. Let's move on to the software group. This is the IGV ETF, and here we can see the upper channel line is clearly still the resistance level. And even this week, with the market up in general, it's not moving. It did bounce back a little bit, but it's not coming back to it kind of came close to the short-term moving average, but then got rejected. So on the intraday, you can see this big drop on Wednesday, middle of the day, and then Thursday drop, and then Friday we drop even further before bouncing back again. So far, the bounce has been pretty weak. Here's the look at the IGV's daily chart here. Again, we can see the upper channel line pretty becoming a resistance level, and we got rejected there on Wednesday as it comes up, but and then Thursday went much lower, Friday went much lower again before bouncing back. So this is now not looking very healthy, so that's not a good sign. Here's Microsoft, also not doing really well here. It has no power whatsoever. It tried to come back up on Wednesday as well, and then it just kind of keep going lower to Friday morning before bouncing back a little bit by end of day. Google is actually acting really strong. Look at this recent bounce here. The slope is starting to look decent, and this is a nice flat base after this nice run here. We had a similar base here as well. Then we have more consolidation here, and then this is a bigger one recently, and now we're starting to move. So we'll see how the breakout looks like, and if it happens. Palantir having lots of trouble lately. Recently it tried to move up, but now we came back down pretty hard, and then from there we tried to bounce back, but once again you can see the rejection here at the red line there. This is also looking very bad. Again, considering we have an up week for the indexes, some of these stocks are just not, NVDA, Palantir are just not moving at all, so it's not a good sign. So relative strength is also coming down here, as you see. Here's Meta. Meta also not doing that well. It's still stuck in this really tight trading range, but it keep making lower lows. So so it's not ready yet for sure. Amazon had a really good week this week. Look at this bounce here on Tuesday, and it has been falling through almost every day here, so there's definitely some sort of accumulation happening. And here's Apple. Apple have a really tough week this week. Look at this trend line forming very steep right now, so definitely not a very good start for Apple here. Again, very steep downtrend line at this moment. Tesla is also having difficulty. Here's the rejection here on Monday, and then it did bounce back by Friday here, closer to this red line here. So we'll see how it behaves. If we can cross back above this, that will be really good. And Netflix, we continue to see this being so off. Lots of downgrades this week. Again, it just keep hitting new lows. Not sure where the bottom will be, but this is getting really severe. The correction now is 33.3% from the top here. So there's really no support level. I mean, the next support level might be from this last previous big base here, which is still like closer to like $80. So yeah, I'll be coming up with the next growth stocks video, which will talk more about more specific growth stocks in different groups and sectors. Please help follow that, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.